Dot Solutions. Add-on desires.
Hello viewers, welcome to our Dot Solution Daily Current Affairs. I am Lokesh Pengunda. This session is mainly designed for aspirants preparing for banking, groups and such other competitive examinations. We cover news articles from both the Hindu and the Indian Express. Make your use of this. First, we have a topic dealing with the exit polls. What are the exit polls? Exit polls are the polls taken after a voter has given his vote in the polling station. So, let's say there is a voter A and he is belonging to the constituency 1. Once the voter A gives his vote in a polling booth, he will come out of this polling booth, and when he comes out of this polling booth, a non-official members who are doing a survey will take his preference. So, there will be some non-official firms or non-official survey taking firms which will ask the person A whom he has voted for, and they will note down all the votes or all the preferences given by each voter. With this, we can understand an indicator of who is going to win in the coming up election. So what is the main advantage of taking an exit poll? It will lead to provision of a indicator of who is going to win even before the official election results. Let's say there is an election on 21st of April, and immediately after the elections there will be some firms who will be conducting the surveys. They will take the voting choices of people who has voted in the polling booths. So you will get an exit poll result. You will get an exit poll result on the 22nd of April or even on the 21st of April night. So you will get a clear or a basic idea or an indication of who is going to win. Whereas officially you might be getting the result only after 1 week or 10 days. So rather than waiting for 10 days to know who will get the majority or who might get how many votes, we'll get a basic idea about who or which party will get how many number of seats in an election. So this is the exit polls. Then what are the opinion polls? Opinion polls are the polls taken before the election, before the commencement of the election. So if you take a poll regarding whom a voter will be willing to vote even before the election, then it is called as an opinion poll. Whereas if you take the preference of a voter after he voting in a polling booth, then you call it as an exit poll. So are there any regulations regarding the exit polls? The answer is yes. The Election Commission of India states that only after the complete election can you provide the exit poll result. So let's say we have the West Bengal elections which completed just now, and we have seen that the West Bengal elections held in many phases. So if you have 5 phases and just after completion of one phase, if you are providing the exit polls, then this exit polls might be used to influence the voters who will participate in the election in the next phases. So this is why the Election Commission of India has stated you can only provide the exit polls only after the completion of the entire polling or the entire procedure of the election. This is regarding the voting polls and the exit polls in general. Next we have an article dealing with the vaccine Maitri. It is stated that the vaccine Maitri may have to wait till the month of July. So what does vaccine Maitri mean? We have seen that India has provided COVID-19 vaccines to many countries. So nearly 40 countries around the world has gotten some COVID-19 vaccines from India. This might be in the form of grants or this might be in the form of commercial exports. So we are prioritizing some countries which are allies of India, which India wants to have a good relationship with, and this is the objective of starting the Vaccine Maitri initiative or the Vaccine Maitri program. But now, due to increasing number of COVID cases and deaths in the country, the center has suspended this program, and it is stated that the other countries would only get vaccines from India only after the month of July in this year. Next, we have an article which is talking about China launching a key module regarding the building of a permanent space station. So we have seen that only there is one international space station, and now China, Russia and India wants to bring in their own space stations, and in this regard the country China has sent in a key module regarding the installation of space station. So it has sent a module called as Heavenly Harmony. Heavenly Harmony. This is a module name, and it is sent through the Long March 5B rockets. So you might have a question which is talking about the Heavenly Harmony, or it might be asking which country has recently sent the Long March 5B rocket. So both these topics or both these terms are related to the country China and relating to the Chinese space station. Next, we have an article where it is stated that most people in the world are supporting the usage of vaccine certificates. So what do you mean by vaccine certificates? So let's say Indians are blocked from entering many countries now because the number of COVID cases in the country are increasing day by day. So as a result of it, many countries has blocked Indian flights to their countries, and as a result, people cannot move from India to other countries. This is the same issue with countries such as Brazil, United Kingdom, where many of its citizens were blocked to enter some countries. So there existing a new program called as Vaccine Certificate Program, and under this, people who are already vaccinated will be given some certificates, and these certificates will be used to enter an country. Because let's say there is country USA and United States of America is blocking Indian citizens to enter its soil because there is huge problem of COVID-19, and you have a person A, and this person A is having vaccine certificates, and these vaccine certificates are stating that this person A, who is a citizen of the country, have received both the doses of a COVID vaccine. So the United States government might be willing to accept Mr. A because he has already taken the vaccines. So the risk of transmission of COVID-19 from Mr. A is very less. So this is the COVID vaccination certificates this article is talking about. And also there is a survey did by World Economic Forum in this regard. Now we'll see the background of the World Economic Forum. So what is a World Economic Forum? It is a non-profit organization. Non-profit organization. This is based on the country Switzerland. That is, this organization works in the country Switzerland. So what is the objective of this World Economic Forum? Its objective is to promote economic growth in the world. And how does it aim to achieve or encourage economic growth in the world? It encourages or tries to increase the growth by calling and by setting up a meeting or an annual conference with the political, academic and business leaders. So the World Economic Forum every year brings in an annual conference, and in this annual conference the academic leaders political leaders and business leaders will meet together, and this might lead to interaction between them and might lead to growth of firms in various countries. This is the objective and main function of World Economic Forum. Apart from bringing an annual conference, it also brings major indexes. So what are the main or the major indexes the World Economic Forum brings? It brings in global competitiveness index. Next, it brings in energy transition index. It also brings in global gender gap report. So these are some of the major indexes and reports brought by the World Economic Forum. And after the COVID pandemic struck down many countries, the World Economic Forum has also brought in a new initiative called as the Great Reset. The Great Reset initiative. And also you should note that the World Economic Forum's annual conferences or dialogues are called as Davos Dialogues. Davos is a place the World Economic Forum meets every year for the annual conference. So the terms Great Reset Initiative, Davos Dialogue and World Economic Forum are relating to each other. Next, we have an article which is talking about huge protest going on in the country Colombia. So, where is the Colombian country located? Colombia is a South American country. In the image you can see the Colombia. It is bordering the countries of Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, Venezuela and Panama. We know that Panama is the country that links the South American continent with the North American continent. So the Panama country links both these continents, and the Colombia is the part where Panama meets the South American continent. And what is the capital of Colombia? It is Bogota. Next, we have an article which is stating that the NCW has launched a helpline for the pregnant women. So what is the NCW? It stands for National Commission for Women. National Commission for Women. This is a statutory body. When I say it is a statutory body, it means that it was launched or set up with or by an act of parliament. So which act of parliament is empowering for the establishment of National Commission for Women? There was an act called as National Commission for Women Act of 1992. So who is the current chairperson of the National Commission for Women? It is Miss Rekha Sharma. So what will be the tenure of the chairman? The tenure of the chairman is 3 years, or by the time she reaches 65 years. So whichever comes early would be the retiring period for the chairman of the National Commission for Women. So what are the objectives and major functions of setting up of this National Commission for Women? The objective of setting up of this National Commission for Women is to provide and encourage equality between genders and for the encouragement of participation of women in various sectors. So the objective is to encourage equality and participation of women in major sectors of the country. So what are the functions it does for ensuring its objectives are met? First, it provides a report annually to the central government. So it provides a report on the state of women in India to the central government every year. Next, it provides or recommends for the legislative measures that the government or the parliament should take. So to bring in welfare to the women or to encourage women, it advises the government and the parliament to bring in some legislatures or the acts. So it advises or recommends for the formation or passing up of certain acts, and also it will revise and go through the existing constitutional articles relating to women and also the existing legislatures relating to women, and it also advises regarding any changes or modifications that are required. So what we can see is that not only it will advise the government regarding the acts that needs to be brought in, but also it will go through the existing acts and it will provide some recommendations for the betterment of the existing acts. Next, we have an article dealing with the PM Kisan. It is stated that the PM Kisan's first installment has been delayed due to COVID-19 pandemic. So we'll see what the PM Kisan means. PM Kisan stands for Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. So Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. This is a central sector scheme launched in the year 2019. And the scheme is 100% supported by the union government or the central government of the country. This comes under or is implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So what is the objective of bringing in a new scheme or an initiative? The objective of this scheme is to support the farmers financially. Financial support to the farmers. So how does it provide the financial support to the farmers? It provides the financial support by providing a yearly amount of 6,000 rupees to the land holding farmers. Land holding farmers. And the 6,000 rupees would be given in 3 installments. So 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. So in 3 installments, the farmers who have land would be getting 6,000 rupees annually, and the beneficiaries of the scheme would be provided by the state or the union territory governments. So it is the state or the union territory governments that have to provide the beneficiary details and their bank account details, so that the union government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare can directly transfer this entire amount to the farmers annually. Next, we have an article dealing with the Japanese honoring a former principal secretary to the Prime Minister. So, Mr. N. Mishra is awarded by the Japan government, and this order or the award is called as Order of Rising Sun, Gold and Silver Star. This is the same award, Silver Star. This is the name of the award Mr. N. Mishra would be getting from the Japanese government. The Japanese government, in recognition of his various efforts given to the country of India and for improving the relations between the country of Japan and India, is planning to provide this award to N. Mishra. Next, we have an article dealing with a topic of state repression. We'll only see the term Article 21, which is mentioned in this editorial. So, what is Article 21 of the Constitution? Article 21 of the Constitution provides for protection of life and personal liberty. So, it deals with the protection of life and personal liberty. This article is defined as the heart of the fundamental rights by the Supreme Court of the country. So, heart of fundamental rights. With this, you can understand the relevance and the significance of the Article 21 in the fundamental rights. This is stated by the Supreme Court of the country. As we are talking about Article 21, we should also note that apart from the protection of life and personal liberty, the area of protection and life and liberty has been widely expanded by the Supreme Court. So, you are getting various other rights under this same Article 21. So, the Supreme Court has stated not only you will get protection of life and personal liberty, but also this article provides for right to privacy. Right to privacy. It provides for right to pollution-free air and water. Right to pollution-free air and water. So, what is the significance of stating even these two rights as a right under the right to life? Because if you don't have the right to privacy, if you don't have the right to pollution-free air and environment, it won't be considered as a dignified life. So, the Supreme Court has stated the right to life means not only an existing life, but also a life which is lived with some dignity. This is regarding Article 21. And you should also know about Article 21A of the Constitution. So, this part or this article has been added by the government or the parliament in the year 2002. So, what is this Article 21A added by the parliament to the Constitution? This provides for a fundamental right to education to children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. So, the parliament through an amendment has stated that for the children who are coming under the age of 6 to 14 years, they have a right to education as well. This is regarding Article 21A and 21A and its significance in day-to-day lives. So, with this topic, we have come to the end of this session. Inform about ADOT's initiative to your other aspirant friends. Thank you.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desires.